Hey guys, it's Sign here with Hobbies and Man once again, and today we're doing another episode of the Sword and Sorcery Book Club. Now, this is going to be very different from usual. I mean, most of the time that when I do a video for this channel, we're talking about Conan, we're talking about Robert E. Howard, and I occasionally mention Tarzan and stuff, right? I've really not looked at anything beyond that, and in this case, we're doing something different because this was sent to me by a company. So, I think it's Antarctic Press, AP Comics, sent this to me. Ben Dunn, the owner of the company, who's a local Texan, had reached out or put up a post on Facebook talking about, the idea that he wants to have creators promote his work and then promote the creators in his own comic books. And I thought it was good. I signed up for it. And it's been quite a few months since this program started, but I had not gotten around to reviewing any of his books, and I finally got around to it. This is Kendra, book 1. I think there's supposed to be 3 total books, and this is a bit of a Red Sonja parody. So it's interesting. I don't necessarily think it's for me, but I can see how this might appeal to some of you guys out there. I think that it has a specific kind of vibe to it. It's a little bit of, of a parody. It's also a bit of a ridiculous type of take, but it also has kind of like a fun, what's it called? Like just making fun of other sword and sorcery type stuff, kind of vibe to it. And it features a female character that is drawn fairly well. I think this might be enjoyable to you guys out there. I'm not sure how you can get this. I guess you can order it directly from their website, or you can get it from your local stores, but you're probably gonna have to track it down. Your best bet is probably to wait till the 2nd and 3rd issues whenever they do come out. I'm not someone that buys most of these comic books most of the time, although I do keep an eye out for the Jungle Comics and their sci-fi anthology series as well. So, yeah. I would rate this a 3.5 out of 5. Like, it's, better than average. It's enjoyable, but it's not necessarily something that I would go out of my way to read. If I had not gotten this sent to me, I probably wouldn't have read it, to be honest with you. It's not bad, but the artwork is probably the weakest element of the story, and it's inconsistent in its execution. That's really the issue. The art isn't bad per se. At any given moment, you can say that it looks good, but it's not consistent across every issue or across every panel, as it were, and that is not the best. The tone of it is also not my favorite. I'm not someone that is super into absurdist comedy elements or parody all that much, so it's not really for me, but I can see, like I said, how someone in the crowd might enjoy it. So this opens up with a silent story, more or less, which is basically a prologue. I think this is what this whole book was based on. The creators worked on this idea, and then they moved on and decided that they should make a series out of this. So it focuses on Kendra running through a dungeon. She encounters some parody characters. I think one of them is a Shrek-looking character. And then she wakes up. She battles a witch who tries to kill Kendra. And this is kind of like a cat fight vibe to it. And then she runs away when the witch fails, and we get a little bit of a Conan and Cerberus reference there as well. And then she wakes up from her dream, and I think she interacts with the Shrek parody character one more time. Then we transition away from this. This was just kind of a silly, kind of fun story to get you started on the concept. The story actually starts with Kendra losing a bet, and then because she has no more money, she has to turn to being a mercenary, right? To make back some of this cash so that she can continue to live relatively peacefully in her medieval style village, right? But she gets a lot of bad luck. She doesn't have any jobs that want to hire her. Partially it's sexism, partially it's that she's not very intelligent either, so it's kind of difficult for her to navigate the world. And eventually she does find one that it seems to be too good to be true. And she interacts with a bunch of characters at a tavern who are trying to stop her from getting the job. And at the same time, we see that elsewhere, these bad guys are trying to go get a MacGuffin, right? And as Kendra is trying to fight these goons, she meets her new boss, who's a young man called Ayan. He finds her, and it turns out that the job is an escort job. She has to take him somewhere to go find that same MacGuffin that those bad guys are looking for, right? But it's not quite all there is to it. The quest is basically a pretty dangerous kind of situation, and really it's more than Kendra really bargains for, but that's kind of classic for these sorts of fantasy type stories, right? She decides to take the job anyways, and then the bad guys continue to look for the MacGuffin. And eventually, Kendra and Ian meet a wizard character who decides to travel with them. This is more of a D&D type sword and sorcery story than a proper sword and sorcery story. They fight some bandits, and then the story ends with a cliffhanger mid-battle where it seems like one of the characters has been hurt quite lethally, and that's it for this issue. It's not bad. I didn't dislike it. I didn't really love it either. I'm not going to track down a physical copy of this myself, but it might work for you guys. I recommend you guys give it a go and make your decision for yourself. Thank you to Ben Dunn for sending this to me, and hopefully he appreciates the review, and this ends up being a pretty good relationship for us, here at the Hobbies of a Man, office, as it were, which is just my room, right? So, yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys later.